Have you ever wondered what you have to let go of during your spiritual journey? There are certain habits and mindsets that quickly shed as you go through your spiritual awakening. It's important for you to be aware of what they are. It's not a coincidence that this video has reached you. This video was specifically made for the chosen ones. If you're not one of the chosen, you may find it hard to watch this video until the end. You may even feel inclined to stop watching it, as you may not resonate with it in any way. However, if you really are one of the chosen, you will deeply resonate with it. Spiritually awakened individuals learn to stop taking things personally. They come to understand that most of the time, what others say or do reflects those people's perspectives, feelings, or experiences, rather than being an accurate reflection of who they are. This realization allows them to step back from situations that might have previously triggered strong emotional reactions. Instead of reacting immediately and emotionally to what others say or do, awakened individuals develop the ability to respond with clarity and calmness. They recognize that their emotions are under their control, and they refuse to allow others to manipulate their emotional state. This approach does not mean they become indifferent. Rather, they learn to maintain a balanced perspective, which helps them navigate through life's challenges without unnecessary stress. By not taking things personally, spiritually awakened people can see situations more objectively. They can focus on the facts and the bigger picture instead of getting lost in emotional turmoil. This shift in mindset leads to better decision-making because they are not clouded by anger, frustration, or hurt. They can evaluate situations based on their true nature without being influenced by personal biases or emotional reactions. Those who are spiritually awakened make a significant shift from blaming others to taking responsibility for their own actions and experiences. This change in perspective is crucial for personal growth and self-awareness. When they stop blaming others, they begin to understand that their reactions, choices, and behaviors are within their control. They recognize that playing the blame game only keeps them stuck in negative patterns, preventing them from moving forward in life. Taking responsibility means acknowledging that they have a role in everything that happens in their lives. Whether it's a challenging situation or a conflict with someone, they focus on what they can do to improve or change the situation rather than pointing fingers at others. This approach helps them to grow and learn from every experience. Instead of seeing themselves as victims of circumstances, they view each situation as an opportunity to gain insight and become better versions of themselves. This mindset also helps spiritually awakened individuals to develop a deeper sense of self-awareness. By taking responsibility, they start to see how their thoughts, actions, and emotions contribute to the outcomes they experience. This awareness empowers them to make conscious choices that align with their true values and goals, rather than reacting impulsively or out of habit. When they take responsibility, they reduce the negativity in their lives. Blaming others often leads to feelings of anger, resentment, and frustration, which can create a toxic environment both internally and externally. By taking ownership of their actions, they are able to let go of these negative emotions and focus on positive, constructive solutions. This shift not only improves their mental and emotional well-being, but also positively impacts their relationships with others. As people become spiritually awakened, they stop seeking validation from others. They begin to understand that true self-worth comes from within, not from external sources. This shift is essential for personal growth and inner peace, as it frees them from the constant need to be approved by others. When individuals rely on external validation, their sense of self becomes dependent on the opinions, judgments, or approval of those around them. This dependency can lead to insecurity and anxiety because they are always looking for someone else to confirm their value. However, spiritually awakened people realize that no one else can truly define their worth. They understand that relying on others to validate their choices, appearance, or actions only limits their personal freedom and growth. Instead of seeking approval from others, they turn inward and learn to trust their own intuition and judgment. This internal validation comes from a deep understanding and acceptance of who they are. They recognize their strengths, acknowledge their weaknesses, and embrace their individuality. This self-awareness allows them to make decisions and live their lives according to their own values and beliefs, rather than trying to fit into someone else's expectations or standards. As they stop seeking external validation, they also let go of the fear of judgment. They no longer worry about what others might think of them because they are confident in their own self-worth. This newfound confidence allows them to express themselves more authentically and live more freely. They become less concerned with pleasing others and more focused on being true to themselves. Spiritually awakened individuals make a conscious decision to quit living in fear. They recognize that fear can be a major barrier to personal growth and fulfillment. By letting go of fear, they open themselves up to new possibilities and a more meaningful life. Fear often stems from the unknown or from past negative experiences. It can create a constant state of anxiety where individuals worry about potential outcomes or dwell on what might go wrong. Spiritually awakened people understand that living in fear only limits their potential and keeps them from fully experiencing life. They begin to shift their focus away from fear and towards trust in themselves, in the universe, and in the natural flow of life. One of the key aspects of quitting fear is embracing the present moment. Spiritually awakened individuals learn that fear is often rooted in future uncertainties or past regrets. By focusing on the here and now, they reduce the power that fear has over them. Living in the present allows them to respond to life's challenges with clarity and calmness, rather than being paralyzed by fear of what might happen. Another important shift is the move from fear to love. Spiritually awakened people understand that love is a much more powerful and positive force. They start to make decisions based on love, compassion, and understanding, rather than fear and insecurity. This shift in mindset leads to more positive experiences and relationships, as they are no longer driven by fear, but by a desire to connect and grow. Letting go of fear also means stepping out of their comfort zones. Spiritually awakened individuals recognize that growth often requires taking risks and facing uncertainties. By quitting the habit of living in fear, they become more willing to embrace change and explore new opportunities. This doesn't mean that fear disappears completely, but they learn to acknowledge it without letting it control their actions or decisions. When individuals experience spiritual awakening, they often find themselves moving away from materialism. This shift is rooted in the realization that true fulfillment does not come from accumulating possessions, but from cultivating inner peace and personal growth. Materialism is the belief that acquiring more things, whether it be money, clothes, gadgets, or other physical items, will lead to happiness and success. However, spiritually awakened people come to understand that this belief is an illusion. They recognize that material possessions, while sometimes useful, do not provide lasting satisfaction. The joy they bring is often temporary, leading to a never-ending cycle of wanting more. This understanding leads spiritually awakened individuals to reassess their relationship with material goods. They begin to prioritize experiences, relationships, and personal development over the pursuit of more stuff. Instead of seeking happiness in external objects, they focus on finding contentment within themselves. This shift doesn't mean they completely reject all material things, but rather they become more mindful of what they truly need versus what they have been conditioned to want. As they move away from materialism, spiritually awakened individuals often simplify their lives. They realize that a cluttered life, filled with unnecessary possessions, can be a source of stress and distraction. By letting go of excess, they create space for more meaningful activities and connections. This simplification leads to a greater sense of freedom and clarity, as they are no longer burdened by the constant desire for more. Spiritually awakened individuals often make the choice to stop holding grudges. This decision is rooted in the understanding that holding on to anger or resentment harms them more than it affects the person they are upset with. Letting go of grudges is a crucial step in their journey towards inner peace and emotional freedom. Holding a grudge means carrying negative emotions towards someone for something they did in the past. This can lead to feelings of bitterness, anger, or even hatred. Spiritually awakened people come to realize that these emotions do not serve them. Instead, they weigh them down, creating unnecessary emotional burdens. By choosing to release these feelings, they free themselves from the negative impact of these emotions. Letting go of grudges is not about condoning the actions that cause the hurt. It's about recognizing that holding on to these negative feelings only prolongs the pain. Spiritually awakened individuals understand that forgiveness is not about excusing the behavior, but about freeing themselves from the emotional hold it has on them. They realize that when they forgive, they are not letting the other person off the hook. They are simply choosing not to carry the burden of anger and resentment any longer. Forgiveness, in this sense, becomes an act of self-care. Spiritually awakened people prioritize their own emotional well-being by releasing the negativity associated with grudges. They understand that holding on to these feelings can lead to stress, anxiety, and even physical health issues. By letting go, they create space for positive emotions like love, compassion, and peace to enter their lives. Another important aspect of this process is the realization that everyone is imperfect, including themselves. Spiritually awakened individuals recognize that people make mistakes, sometimes unintentionally causing harm. They develop a sense of empathy, understanding that everyone is on their own journey, facing their own challenges. This perspective helps them to let go of the need for revenge or retribution as they see the bigger picture of human experience. Overthinking is a habit that many people struggle with, but those on a path of spiritual growth learn to move beyond it. Overthinking often involves endlessly analyzing situations, worrying about potential outcomes, and getting caught up in what-if scenarios. This mental loop can create stress and prevent individuals from living fully in the present moment. When someone stops overthinking, they start to focus more on the present rather than getting lost in thoughts about the past or future. This shift is important because the present is where life actually happens. By letting go of the need to control every detail or predict every outcome, they can enjoy life as it unfolds. Learning to trust in the flow of life helps reduce the urge to overthink. When one becomes more confident in their ability to handle whatever comes their way, they no longer feel the need to mentally prepare for every possible scenario. This trust in themselves and in the process of life leads to a calmer and more peaceful state of mind. Letting go of overthinking also means developing greater self-awareness. By paying attention to their thought patterns, individuals begin to notice when they are getting caught up in unnecessary worries. This awareness allows them to redirect their focus to what really matters in the moment, instead of wasting energy on thoughts that don't serve them. Embracing change is a key shift that happens when individuals grow spiritually. Change is a natural part of life, yet many people resist it out of fear. This fear can stem from the unknown, from leaving behind the familiar, or from the discomfort that change often brings. However, when someone begins to view change as a necessary and positive part of life, they open themselves up to growth and new opportunities. The acceptance of change starts with understanding that nothing in life remains static. Everything is in a constant state of flux, and resisting this reality only creates unnecessary stress. By acknowledging that change is inevitable, individuals can start to see it as a chance to evolve rather than something to be feared. This mindset shift allows them to approach changes in life with a sense of curiosity and openness rather than dread. Moving away from a fear of change also involves recognizing that growth often requires leaving behind what is comfortable or familiar. While this can be challenging, it is essential for personal development. When individuals stop clinging to the past or trying to keep things the same, they create space for new experiences and insights. This willingness to let go of the old and welcome the new is a crucial part of personal evolution. Moreover, accepting change helps in reducing the anxiety that comes from uncertainty. When people understand that change is not something to be controlled, but something to be embraced, they feel more at ease with the unpredictability of life. This acceptance brings a sense of peace, as they no longer feel the need to resist or fight against the natural flow of events. Ignoring intuition is a common habit that many people outgrow as they progress on their spiritual journey. Intuition is the inner sense or gut feeling that guides us in making decisions and understanding situations. When individuals begin to trust and listen to their intuition, they often find that their lives become more aligned with their true selves. Intuition is a natural and valuable guide. It provides insights and guidance that are not always based on logical reasoning, but on a deeper understanding of what is right for them. When people choose to ignore these inner prompts, they might find themselves making decisions that don't align with their true desires or values. This misalignment can lead to dissatisfaction and a sense of being off course. One of the first steps in acknowledging intuition is to become more aware of these inner signals. This involves paying attention to feelings, thoughts, or sensations that arise spontaneously, especially when making important decisions. It means taking the time to reflect on these gut feelings and considering them seriously rather than dismissing them as irrelevant or irrational. Listening to intuition also requires trusting oneself. Many people doubt their intuitive feelings because they don't fit with conventional logic or external expectations. However, embracing intuition involves recognizing that this inner guidance can be a powerful tool for making decisions that are right for them. Trusting these feelings helps in aligning actions with their authentic self, leading to more fulfilling and meaningful choices. Developing a stronger connection to intuition often involves practices like meditation, mindfulness, or quiet reflection. These practices help in calming the mind and creating space to hear and understand intuitive insights. By regularly engaging in these practices, individuals can strengthen their ability to recognize and trust their inner guidance. If you're still watching, I'd like to thank you for your attention. If you enjoyed the content and want to see more, please consider clicking the subscribe button. Your support is very appreciated. Feel free to share your experiences or thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, take care and subscribe for more insightful content.